Good evening, I'm Abhishek Mahajan. In the next half an hour, we'll see 100 top stories making the headlines today. Let's start with political news. India and Portugal today exchanged 7 documents in various fields, including maritime transport, audiovisual cooperation, cooperation in the field of industrial and intellectual property rights. The documents were exchanged in the presence of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and visiting Portugal President following delegation-level talks. Earlier, Portugal President Rebelo was accorded a ceremonial welcome at Rashtrapati Bhavan. He later called India a superpower and said that both countries shall work for peace and sustainable development in the world. The visiting president also paid tribute to Mahatma Gandhi at Rajghat. This is his first visit to India. The last visit by a president of Portugal to India was in 2007. Nation today remembers martyrs of gruesome Pulwama terror attack that killed 40 CRPF Jawans. On this day last year, CRPF inaugurated a memorial at Lethpora camp near the site where the terror attack took place. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tributes to the brave martyrs of Pulwama terror attack, remembering them as exceptional individuals who devoted their lives to serving the nation. Raksha Mantri Rajnath Singh remembered the fallen CRPF personnel and said that entire nation stands united against terrorism and are committed to continue fight against this menace. Special CRPF DG J&K Zone Zulfikar Hassan today said that conspirators of Pulwama attack were neutralized few months after the incident. He also said that investigation is being done by the NIA and that CRPF has tried its best to take care of the martyrs' families. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman today held an interactive session on budget and beyond with professionals from asset management, wealth advisory, tax consultancy and other related industries at Niti Aayog. Finance Minister informed that market has accepted the budget 2020 positively. Union Finance Minister today said that government is likely to come up with a detailed paper on Direct Act Vivad Se Vishwas Bill 2020 with clear figures following cabinet approval for changes in the said bill. And while India is in full vigil against spread of novel coronavirus infection, Prime Minister Narendra Modi lauded efforts of Air India that conducted the Wuhan rescue operation, evacuating stranded Indians from Wuhan. Prime Minister has issued a letter of appreciation to the team members of the operation. Union Health Secretary Preeti Sudan today reviewed preparedness for prevention and management of novel coronavirus outbreak with various states and ministries. The Health Secretary said that the situation is under control in the country and urged states to enhance awareness among the masses for prevention through personal hygiene and self-reporting. In solemn tribute to former External Affairs Minister Sushma Swaraj on her 68th birth anniversary, the government has renamed Prasar Bharati Kendra as Sushma Swaraj Bhavan and Foreign Service Institute, Delhi as Sushma Swaraj Institute of Foreign Service. Prime Minister Narendra Modi remembered the former External Affairs Minister late Sushma Swaraj on her birth anniversary today by sharing in Twitter an old photo with her. He also said that the late minister epitomized dignity, decency and unwavering commitment to public service. In Nirbhaya case, Supreme Court today dismissed the petition of death row convict Vinay Kumar Sharma challenging the rejection of his mercy petition. The apex court said that there is no ground of judicial review for the rejection of his mercy petition by the president. Speaking on the situation in Kashmir, foreign envoys who are on a 2-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir today expressed satisfaction with development activities being undertaken in the Union territory. A court in Pune hearing the Elgar Parishad case today passed an order to transfer the case to a special NIA court in Mumbai. The centre had last month transferred the probe into the case from the Pune police to the NIA. The Supreme Court today directed the managing directors and directors of telecom companies to explain why contempt action should not be taken against them for non-compliance of its order to pay adjusted gross revenue of Rs 1.47 lakh crore to the Department of Telecommunications. IMF spokesman Gary Rice has termed accommodative fiscal stance in India's latest budget as appropriate given the slowing economy, adding that the government should continue to pursue medium-term reforms and fiscal consolidation because of growing debt levels. According to a study, logistics leasing activity in India increased 30% last year, mainly driven by government's policy announcement which boosted e-commerce and retail sectors. Industrial and logistics sector also witnessed investments of more than USD 200 million. Maruti Suzuki India today launched S-CNG variant of its BS6 compliant new WagonR, price starting at Rs 5.25 lakh, in line with its aim to sell 1 million green vehicles in the next couple of years. Airbus has teamed up with the Quebec government to buy Bombardier's 33.5% stake in the A220 passenger jet program, completing the Canadian firm's exit from civil aviation and boosting Airbus's position in a new battleground with Boeing. The U.S. Justice Department has added new criminal charges against Chinese tech giant Huawei, accusing the company of a brazen scheme to steal trade secrets from competitors in America. Also alleges the company provided surveillance equipment to Iran and that it sought to conceal business that it was doing in North Korea despite economic sanctions there. The 30-share BSE Sensex fell by 202.05 points to end at 41,257.74, with 22 of its constituents closing with losses. The broader NSE Nifty shed 61.20 points to settle at 12,113.50 as banking, auto, FMCG and energy counters retreated. Gold prices rose by Rs 75 to Rs 41,481 per 10 grams in the national capital amid rupee depreciation. Likewise, silver also gained Rs 147 to Rs 47,036 per kg. Crude oil prices on Friday gained by Rs 4 to Rs 3,679 per barrel as speculators widened their positions driven by positive overseas trend. The Indian rupee on Friday fell by 6 paisa to close at 71.37 again against the US dollar, tracking heavy selling in domestic equities and strengthening of the American currency in the overseas market. Now some news from Science World. Altering the altitude of less than 2% of flights may reduce aircraft-linked climate change by 59%, according to a study. Researchers said aircraft constraints, the white streaks aircraft leave in the sky, could be as bad for the climate as their carbon dioxide emissions. Researchers say that climate change may cause 1 in 3 species of plants and animals worldwide to become extinct in the next 50 years if humans cause larger temperature increases than agreed to in the Paris Agreement. More than a third or even half of all animal and plant species would be lost. A large iceberg has broken off from Pine Island Glacier on the edge of Antarctica. According to satellite images from the European Space Agency, the iceberg is a 300 square kilometers in size and following a split from the glacier quickly shattered into pieces. French Minister of Economy and Finance Bruno Le Maire said on Thursday that China's tech giant Huawei won't be excluded from the country's 5G network rollout, but the government will set restrictions to protect France's sovereignty and address potential security risks. A Mexican state has launched an investigation to determine the source of heavy metals and organic matter polluting the Santiago River that feeds that was once a spectacular waterfall. An official source said that the government was seeking federal help to determine which categories were responsible. French President Emmanuel Macron unveiled a plan to discourage what he called inappropriate mountain activities on the Mont Blanc after visiting France's shrinking Mer de Glace glacier. Macron said the plan includes a perimeter on France's highest peak. With climate change and conflict increasing food insecurity across the Sahel, one Malian architect has built a fully automated greenhouse where fruit and vegetables can be grown all year round. In a country where 80% of the population make their living from agriculture, water reserves are precariously low. Afghanistan's first ever waitress glides up to a table of curious diners in central Kabul and presents them with various dishes from the menu. The manager there says the humanoid bot imported from Japan is designed to look like a hijab-wearing woman. It has pulled in customers since it started. A South Korean documentary called Meeting You broadcasted the emotional reunion of a mother and an avatar of her daughter who died in 2016 at the age of 7 from an unidentified illness with the help of virtual reality. In Himachal Pradesh, the Mask Festival, also known as Fugli Festival, is being celebrated with great pomp and glory in the Kulu district. The fest is a major attraction for the tourists. Indian couture designers lead their way to sustainable fashion at the Lakme India Fashion Week in Mumbai. Bollywood stars grace the ramp as they promote sustainable fashion at the event. Thai students formed a heart shape on Valentine's Day to show their support for China on their fight against coronavirus near Bangkok in Thailand. Around 3,000 students gathered in a school in Ayutthaya province to send Valentine hearts to China. The plight of coronavirus does not seem to end as the number of casualties due to the outbreak jumps to 1,380 in China. However, the number of confirmed cases reaches 63,767. China has reported 63,767 confirmed cases of novel coronavirus, while 505 cases have been reported from 24 other countries. The death toll in China stood at 1,380, while 2 deaths have been reported abroad. Japan and Philippines have 1 death cases each. WHO has said a sharp rise in reported coronavirus cases in China due to a change in counting methods did not represent a big shift in the epidemic. At a press conference, head of the WHO's Health Emergencies Program, Michael Ryan, said this does not represent a significant change in the trajectory of the outbreak. Vietnamese authorities on Thursday quarantined a community of 10,000 people near the capital, Hanoi, for 20 days due to the spread of coronavirus. The rural commune of Son Loi near capital is home to 11 of the 16 coronavirus cases in the country. The Japanese government has said that some elderly passengers on the novel coronavirus hit cruise ship quarantined near Tokyo will be allowed to disembark as early as Friday, but they will still be quarantined in government prepared facilities. 218 people on board have been confirmed for coronavirus. Japan announced its first death from the coronavirus outbreak hours after confirming 44 more cases on a cruise ship quarantined near Tokyo as fears of the spreading disease mount in the country. The health minister confirmed the patient being a woman in her 80s. An Indian national diagnosed with the novel coronavirus in the UAE is said to be stable. With this, the total number of confirmed infection cases rises to 8. The Health Ministry of UAE said that the 2 new patients, a Chinese national and a Filipino, had been diagnosed with the disease and were receiving medical care as per the highest health standards. In North Korea, an official has reportedly been executed for going to a public bath in violation of his quarantine. The official, who returned from China, was arrested and immediately shot for risking the spread of the deadly disease. International Energy Regulator IAEA says that due to coronavirus, for the first time in decades, the usage of oil has recorded the gravest slowdown. The US Senate has passed an Iran war powers resolution to limit the US President Donald Trump's ability to wage war against Iran. The legislation aims to rein in his ability to use military action against Iran without congressional approval. 8 of Trump's fellow Republicans joined Democrats to pass the war powers resolution by 55-45. In view of the Trump's stringent migrant policies, the strength of migrants at the American-Mexican border has decreased significantly. As compared to the strength in May 2019, the decrease can be recorded at 74.5% in January 2020. A rocket slammed into an Iraqi base where American troops are stationed in the remote province of Kirkuk on Thursday night. There were no immediate reports of casualties. According to 3 separate Iraqi security sources, the Katyusha rocket hit the K-1 base. Washington blamed the rockets on Kataib Hezbollah, a hardline Iraqi military faction close to Iran, and conducted retaliatory strikes that killed 25 of the group's fighters. Lebanese finance minister said that it is studying options for dealing with forthcoming Eurobond maturities, including whether to pay the debt. The heavily indebted country is in deep financial trouble and must decide whether to repay its maturing foreign currency debt on time, including a $1.2 billion Eurobond due to March 9. Syrian children and families fleeing from airstrikes and advancing troops in Idlib province were pictured enduring severe winter conditions at a displacement camp. The drone footage showered snow and ice blanketing temporary accommodation set up for the displaced families in northern Idlib. Turkey strengthened its military presence in Syria as Turkish Defense Minister Hulusi Akar warned Ankara will use force against rebel groups violating a ceasefire in Idlib. Turkey has allied with some rebels in Idlib opposed to Syrian President Bashar al-Assad and has boosted its troops, arms and equipment in the region. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi said that US President Donald Trump's comments this week weighing in on the trial of his longtime associate Roger Stone amount to political interference in the judiciary and are an abuse of power. She also said that the president is again trying to manipulate federal law enforcement to serve his political interests. Britain's Finance Minister Sajid Javid has stepped down from his position almost a week after Brexit and a month ahead of annual budget. Javid's spokesperson confirmed his resignation. Mr. Javid was immediately replaced by Rishi Sunak, a close ally of Prime Minister, and Narendra Modi's son-in-law accepted Mr. Johnson's proposal to take control of the Chancellor's office, fueling market expectation there could be a loosening of Britain's fiscal regime. A letter bomb caught fire at a bank in Amsterdam on Thursday and another was disarmed at an office near Utrecht, the latest in a series of such attacks in the Netherlands this week. However, no one was hurt in the incident at an Amsterdam branch of ING Bank. General Qamar Javed Bajwa will remain as the Pakistan Army Chief until November 28, 2022, according to a notification by the Ministry of Defence. The notification was issued on January 28 after the country's parliament passed a law to settle the issue of the extension of Army Chief's tenure. In Honduras, about 20 gunmen dressed in military fatigues and police uniforms on Thursday killed 3 policemen and wounded 2 others during an attack to free one of the most senior leaders of the powerful MS-13 gang. Local television showed images of about 20 uniformed men and their faces covered, shooting and climbing into several vehicles, escaping. The gruesome murder of a 25-year-old woman in Mexico's capital sparked outrage across the country after leaked photos of her mutilated body appeared on the front page of a newspaper. Investigators in Mexico City are investigating 6 civil servants to determine who leaked the images. South Africa will focus on fixing its strained public finances this year and procure more renewable energy quickly to address a power crisis, President Cyril Ramaphosa said in an annual address to Parliament. Ramaphosa's critics want him to move more swiftly to address regulatory blockages and rein in runaway government spending. Hundreds demonstrated in Malawi's capital, Lilongwe, on Thursday, calling for the chairwoman of the country's electoral commission to resign. The protest after Malawi's top court overturned last year's presidential election results were called for by Malawi's Human Rights Defenders Coalition. Algerian protesters will soon celebrate their movement's one-year anniversary aimed at toppling former President Abdelaziz Bouteflika and removing decades of a military ruling elite from Africa's largest country. Although Bouteflika resigned in April under pressure, the protesters still demand removal of the ruling elite and the army's withdrawal from politics. President Vladimir Putin said that Russia would not legalize gay marriage as long as he was in the Kremlin. He made clear he would not allow the traditional notion of mother and father to be subverted. He made the comments as he met a state commission to discuss changes to Russia's constitution. Hockey India congratulated Indian men's team captain Manpreet Singh for bagging the FIH Player of the Year award. Singh has become the first member of the India's national team to win the Best Player award since 1999. India's Koneru Hampi defeated former world champion Alexandra Kostenyuk of Russia in 61 moves in the 6th round of the Cairns Cup chess tournament to move into joint lead with Chinese ace Wen Junju. Indian cricketer Hanuma Vihari has said that he was prepared to open the innings in the absence of mainstay Rohit Sharma in the upcoming Test series against New Zealand. Vihari, partnering with Cheteshwar Pujara, forged a 100-run knock in the ongoing practice match with New Zealand. South Africa have ruled out participation in a proposed T20 series in Pakistan following their India tour next month, citing players' workload. The tour will be rescheduled at a later date, suitable to both the Pakistan Cricket Board and Cricket South Africa. The Virat Kohli-led Indian Premier League side Royal Challengers Bangalore have unveiled its new logo ahead of the upcoming season starting on the 29th of March. India star Smriti Mandhana rose 3 ranks to 4th, whereas Jemima Rodriguez dropped to the 7th rank in the latest ICC Women's T20 international rankings for batswomen. India made a positive start to its campaign at the 2020 Asian Youth and Junior Weightlifting Championships, bagging 2 medals on the opening day of the event in Tashkent, Uzbekistan. Both the medals, a silver and a bronze, were bagged by Indian female lifters. The Union Territory of Ladakh will host the inaugural Khelo India Winter Games this month, followed by a similar event in the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir in March, as per the announcement made by Sports Minister Kiran Rijiju. The Sports Ministry will fund both the Khelo India Winter Games in Ladakh in February and J&K in the first week of March. Cristiano Ronaldo's injury time penalty grabbed Juventus a 1-1 draw at AC Milan in their Italian Cup semi-final first leg as his incredible scoring run continued. Real Sociedad edged second division Mirandes 2-1 in their Copa del Rey semi-final first leg, taking a tentative step closer to a potential all-basket final against Athletic Bilbao. Liverpool are expected to take another step towards clinching the Premier League title at Norwich. The Reds can extend their mammoth 22-point lead over Manchester City at Carrow Road on Saturday as they aim to not only win the league for the first time in 30 years but smash the record books in the process. Australian Jordan Thompson upset US top seed John Isner 7-6, 6-7, 6-3 to reach the ATP New York Open quarterfinals. The world number 63 took his first victory in the 4 meetings with a big serving American in the match. Britain's Tyson Fury has vowed to deliver a career-best performance in the upcoming heavyweight title rematch with American Deontay Wilder expecting a war in their February 22 showdown at Las Vegas. The 12-round battle of unbeaten fighters for Wilder's World Boxing Council crown is a rematch of a thrilling 2018 draw at Los Angeles. Matt Kutcher fired a sparkling 7 under 64 to seize a 3-shot lead after the first round of the Genesis Invitational at Rivera Country Club. Woods was 4 under through 8 holes and had to settle for a 69. Reigning Olympic champion Park In-bi vaulted into the joint lead at the LPGA Australian Open on Friday in her quest to make South Korea's team for the Tokyo Games and defend her 2016 gold medal. Next year's US PGA BMW Championship, the penultimate event of the tour season-ending playoffs, will move from Chicago to Caves Valley near Baltimore. Australia opener David Warner is braced for a hostile reception but hopes fans will show respect as he and Steve Smith return to South Africa for the first time since the Sandpaper Gate ball tampering scandal that rocked world cricket. Sri Lanka great Kumar Sangakkara will relive his fateful 2009 journey to Lahore's Gaddafi Stadium on Friday after returning for the first time since the deadly attack which plunged Pakistan into cricket isolation. Only 2 mushers reached the finish line at this year's big Volca quest, with Russia's Vyacheslav Damchenko edging out compatriot Arseny Yuryumin by about 5 hours as he pulled into the finish line in Shirayevo on the west bank of the Volga River. Denmark Christina Madsen set a new record for the fastest average marathon time on 7 continents in just 7 days when she finished the 7th stage of the World Marathon Challenge in Miami. Second seed Stefanos Tsitsipas lost 7-5, 6-4 to unseeded Slovenian Aljaž Bedene at the Rotterdam Open. Tsitsipas earned 5 break points in the opening set but failed to convert any, and Bedene won 11 points in a row to wrap up the set. India's Rohan Bopanna and his Canadian partner Denis Shapovalov advanced to men's doubles semi-finals of the ABN AMRO World Tennis Tournament with an impressive win over 4th seed Sean Julian Roger and Horia Tekau. The World Health Organization has told the International Olympic Committee there is no case of cancelling for relocating the Tokyo 2020 Olympics over the coronavirus outbreak. The 70-day event is due to start on July 24th. Today marks 87th birth anniversary of legendary actress Madhubala. Known for her beauty, personality and sensitive portrayals of tragic women, she was also known as the Venus Queen of Indian cinema. Amir Khan today unveiled Kareena Kapoor Khan's first look poster in the movie Lal Singh Chaddha, the official remake of Hollywood film Forrest Gump. While Amir steps into the shoes of Tom Hanks in the original, Kareena plays his love interest. South film industry's 2 leading actresses Nayanthara and Samantha Akineni will be seen together in an upcoming film with Vijaya Sethupathi in the male lead. Samantha took to Instagram and shared the first title promo of the film. Composer Anirudh Ravichander took to his Instagram and released a promo of single track Oru Kutti Katha from actor Vijay's next film Master. Matt Reeves, director of the new Batman movie, tweeted the first look of the actor Robert Pattinson as Batman, revealing the batsuit and causing a buzz among fans. Teen pop sensation Billie Eilish has come out with the official theme song of Daniel Craig's upcoming James Bond movie No Time to Die. The 18-year-old singer is the youngest artist in history to record the theme track for the long-running spy franchise. Tennis star Sania Mirza chose to mesmerize fans away from courts and balls by walking the ramp at the Lakme Fashion Week, showcasing sustainable fashion wear by Ekako in collaboration with Government of Telangana. Stage adaptation of legendary writer Mahashweta Devi's story Bayan under direction of Usha Ganguly will be performed at the Bharat Rang Mahotsav, New Delhi on Sunday. Music lovers in Bengaluru are in for a treat this weekend. Spanish duo Isio and Dodo Sound, New York-based guitarist Xander Naylor and hip-hop duo Seed Mod are all performing in the city. Digital and Technology Festival Tech2 Innovate, featuring the who's who of the online world, youth and technology brands, begin at the Aero City, New Delhi. A mashup of tech, gadgets, automobiles, music and pop culture is on the offer. And that's all we have for you in this edition of news. For all the latest news and updates around the clock, you can follow us on Twitter and YouTube. Namaskar. Well, that's all we have on this news bulletin. Stay tuned for more news and updates. Namaskar.